Hello everyone and welcome to XFounders channel. Here we connect Web3 builders, top-tier experts and VCs to build new unicorns together. And today we have an amazing discussion with Grigory Gonastarev, a founder of GriGon, leading tokenomic consulting agency and a major partner of XFounder Bootcamp Season 2. We talked about tokenomics, token design, and market making. So enjoy the podcast.
So as I have mentioned before, the key elements that determine the startup tokenomics are its utilities and distribution. Utilities is what the token does, and the distribution is how the token it gets out into the market. Once you have those things figured out, that's when you start getting into more advanced parts of the tokenomics, such as listing strategies. Whether you want to go with fair launch or whether you want to go with launch pass. Are you launching first on sexes or are you launching first on dexes? And many more additional things that are small parts to the big picture of a successful token and strong price performance. And most importantly, sustainable and efficient tokenomics in a crypto project revolves around the token being mainly around the product, not the other way around. So, there are a lot of projects who are building the token, and then they say, okay, we have a token. How do we make a product that fits, the narrative of our token? This is a wrong approach to take. The proper approach to take is we have a product, and how do we make it so that the token works around the product? And if your token strongly complements your product, and if your product is successful, then that success of a product and that ability of the token to harness that success of the product can negate a lot of the mistakes that would be made in other parts. So there are multiple mistakes. One of the mistakes I have just mentioned before, which is thinking token first and then product later, when the project thinks about how they can adapt their product to their token, not the other way around. Another mistake, which I see quite frequently, is wrong expectations of the behavior of stakeholders. When the project expects, the stakeholders to hold on to their tokens longer than they actually will. This is extremely common, around the projects. Another common mistake is improper launches. When the project has small amount of liquidity, relatively small amount of liquidity, and then they start launching a lot of different types of pools. They launch a pool against UTT, they launch a pool against ETH, they launch a pool against BTC, which leads to strong liquidity fragmentation. And then once the liquidity gets fragmented, the price becomes extremely volatile and the slippage becomes very high. And this usually causes a lot of panic and FUD in the market. Another common mistake is trying to get listed, on more exchanges than they need at the time. There are natural steps of evolution of a project, and if there is a low amount of liquidity and there's low amount of organic volume, and low amount of interest, sometimes it's better to allocate funds and invest into strengthening what they already have rather than trying to look for solutions in something new. Those are, some of the more common mistakes that I've seen, projects run into. Some other, mistakes that I have seen is not learning from the experience of others. I think that this is a very, very crucial one. If you're making a not unique product, which is also fine, there are multiple, reasons to create a product that already exists if you think that you have your own interesting spin on it. But if you're doing so, please don't repeat the mistakes of others. If you're making a new Web3 game, don't try to repeat the mistakes that other Web3 games have been making. And if you see that this certain model is unsustainable, don't try to make the copy of that model. I see that there are a lot of trends right now in trying to figure out like a SaaS type of model for tokenomics. Because there are some actual products that are coming out right now, specifically related to deep in infrastructure, AI, other different types of commonly used products. And there are different ways that people are looking to integrate the tokens into the infrastructure that they're building, so that the people are able to use their tokens. Another common trend right now is meme tokens. When we talk about meme tokens, it's high amount of liquidity, fair launches, and early distributions. Generally early distributions are pretty common right now. A lot of investors are looking to get their unlocks as soon as possible. So this is something that I also have seen, happening quite frequently these days. Another one is using tokens in a freemium game design, where games are free to play, but people are using tokens to get additional perks to it. There are a couple of projects that are coming up, in terms of what's going to be dictating how the GameFi industry is going to be happening. And there are definitely plenty of projects who are currently building different types of decentralized physical infrastructure, specifically, in a synergy with AI, providing proper compute power in decentralized fashion for artificial intelligence startups. And last but not least, I see a very strong trend and a very strong market demand for base platforms. Probably BitTensor is one of the more successful cases that we have seen. The only one that has been such a trendsetter is Ethereum. And right now we're trying to figure out who is going to be that protocol that is going to be providing the basic necessary software infrastructure for the artificial intelligence market. We take a very comprehensive approach to the tokenomics design. We're very keen on our research. We are trying to figure out what the type of utilities and what type of mechanics work specifically for the project, because no crypto project is same as the other one. There are a lot of different factors which are contributing to what is happening. You should compare apples to apples, not apples to oranges. I think that would be an easy way to put it. Because what might work for a GameFi project, is not going to work for a DeFi project, and what might work for an AI project is not going to work for infrastructure project. So what we're really trying to get at is we're looking at projects within the same categories, and then we're going into in-depth research into what kind of techniques were used specifically within this sector and within this ecosystem, and how has each individual one of those techniques has performed and has contributed to the token success or failure. It is crucial to not only consider the successful cases, but it's also important to consider unsuccessful cases, because it is okay to make new mistakes, but people should try not to repeat old mistakes. And there are plenty of good examples of things that didn't work. And what we can do is we can look into those things and avoid repeating those poor experiences that people have received from building and making certain incorrect decisions along the line. So with those analytics, and with this research, we're able to build a comprehensive model for the token, looking into a couple of years down the line frame, understanding of what is going to work for the project, what is not going to work for the project. And once we have an understanding of how the token is going to work, what is it going to be, what is not going to be, what kind of constraints and what kind of mechanisms are going to be used in this specific token, then we start to look into the distribution strategy. We use pretty advanced mathematical modeling techniques. I have designed a lot of the software specifically for this myself. So we were able to understand what kind of cell pressure we could be expecting. Where the cell pressure is coming from, what is the necessary amount of funds would be to sustain that cell pressure, and what would be the proper way to distribute the tokens in a balanced fashion, where there is enough supply on the market so that the price doesn't get overinflated over a short period of time. Neither there is a very large amount of supply in the market so that the price goes down really fast. And it is very important. A lot of people think that doing 20x in their first 2 or 3 weeks of token launch is a good thing, but usually it's not a sign of healthy, sustainable growth. And usually this happens because there's not enough supply on the market, and the price gets pushed up, too much. And the corrections from these kind of upwards movements can be very severe, and can put so much pressure on the token that it goes down lower than their TGE price. And this could have consequences which will lead to the demise of the project itself. Now, with all that being said, we also pride ourselves in doing detailed mathematical modeling, computer simulations of specific token ecosystems. If a project has a complex system of intertwined protocols that are serving a certain purpose, we're able to do stress testing, we're able to do performance testing, we're able to do revenue simulations to figure out if there are any points of failure in the system, and to acknowledge how the protocol design would behave under different types of circumstances, including extreme circumstances, like we have had experience multiple times in the blockchain industry. For example, FTX collapse, Luna Terra collapse, and many of the other significant shifts in the markets. They have caused panic sell-offs, and they have created large discrepancies in the liquidity of many protocols.